Okay, ladies, I have been smelling so good recently, and I want to let you in on a little secret. I have decolonized my shower routine. And I guess that's just the millennial way of saying I'm using all African-owned beauty products in my shower these days. And I want to show you some of my favorites. I'm going to talk through what you need to add to your shower routine and what you need to just leave behind, okay? So first things first, y'all know I just came back from Ghana. I hope this video is really good because I shot the whole video and deleted it. I will say I do look better in this one, probably because I'm in my favorite robe in the shower. It took me a week to be like, okay, it's time to reshoot this video. You cannot take this idea with you into another year of life. You know, my birthday is on Friday. I can't take this video with me into another year of life. Or like Michael Jackson was so scared that God would take his ideas and send them to Prince. And I need to be scared of that too. So anyways, thank you for watching. Now in Ghana, they use these sapo sponges, right? It's a piece of net. And if you look at it, it's a little bit wider weave than your normal loofah. And it's definitely flat. I mean, I've seen flat loofahs in America, but something about the weave on this, it reminds me of a fishing net, honestly, but they use these, they're sapo sponges. Now, disclaimer, I pronounce things my own way because I've not asked anybody, hey, how do you pronounce it? When I was saying sapo sponge in Ghana, somebody was like, oh, you say that funny, but then they didn't correct me. So, okay, next time I go, I will ask for the correct pronunciation. But in Ghana, they don't use washcloths. They use sapo sponges. So for years when I would travel to Ghana, I would bring washcloths because I knew that's what I liked to shower with. This trip, I forgot my washcloths and I forgot to tell the girls on the trip to bring washcloths. So day one, I was like, okay, let me get the sapo sponges. We're gonna add it to the authentic experience of being in Ghana. So I got a really long one, like 4 times the length of this, and just cut it into 4 pieces. I don't think you need the long one in the shower. It just becomes very complicated and tricky. But we got one long piece and I cut it into 4 pieces and gave it to everybody as part of their welcome package to use it. When I say, before leaving that trip, everybody had bought some to take home with them to give as gifts because they're just that good. The way that it kind of exfoliates on the skin, man, it just feels so much better than the washcloth. And I'm the type, I use a fresh washcloth every time I shower. This, you can drop it in the wash. I washed it before I used it because it had been in the market. So, you know, you're getting a lot of the dust of the market. So, you know, I like a clean shower, honey. So now I use a sapo sponge. I'm fully converted. I bought like 3 or 4 more. I'm just gonna cut them. I like to cut them to a length that I can just get my back, you know, top to bottom. I can do this on my back. So that's how long I like to keep mine. But personal preference is what it is, all right? I want to also tell you my favorite thing about a bath in West Africa, and some of y'all gonna laugh, but if you know, you know, ciao. Look in my very American shower. You will always find the Dettol. When I was living in Liberia, I did not always have running water. I'll say there were about 3 years in there. I was living with my dad and we had a shower and we had drainage out, but we did not have water coming in. And I became an expert at taking an excellent bucket bath because Africa is hot. Your girl gets smelly no matter where she is. And you want to take a good bath. And then I also like to romanticize my baths. When you don't have running water and you want to purify still in sitting water or maybe even well water, Dettol was the way that we kept them purified. Now, we used to just take a capful and put it in the bucket that I'm going to bathe out of. Let me back it up and talk to you about a bucket bath real quick. So the way the setup was at our house and at many houses is you have a big bucket that stays in the bathroom. It can be anywhere from my hip height to my bust height, and it's just a full drum of water, right? You use that to flush toilets, to wash your hands, and to bathe with. You'll take the water from that drum and put it in a smaller bucket, right? I wish I was really, really good at AI illustrations because I could do that for you. When I go back to West Africa, maybe I will take a bucket bath and show you all the steps, but we're using a more pail of water, right? So I would fill up the pail of water, put it in the tub, and then put a capful of Dettol in it. Now, Dettol, while getting rid of all the impurities, it also made my body smell really good. It will strip some of the moisture layers, but when you want to do an everything bath, baby, this is what you need. And I feel like the Hispanic women also have a product that they use similar to that. If you're watching this video and you have a product similar to that, like leave it in the comments below because I'm curious. But when I want to do an everything bath, I'm using this. I brought my Dettol home because I was like, something about water from the city, just every now and then, just once a week, I want to add a little Dettol to my water. So I was using a washcloth. I would put the Dettol in the washcloth and spread it out. It was a wet washcloth, so I would put the Dettol there. Then I was using a lot of Dr. Bronner's, the peppermint one. The peppermint Dr. Bronner's makes you feel like Frosty the Snowman, for real. So I would use Dettol, peppermint, Dr. Bronner's, and really be the cleanest girl you ever met. Now I use a little bit of Dettol on my sponge, but then I come in with the black soap because that's step 2 of my newly, is that step 2 or would that be step 3? If this is step 1 and Dettol is step 2, then step 3 would be the black soap. So let me talk you through some black soaps, right? At Bombshell, people would come in and be like, do you have black soap? And for me, I wasn't really a user of black soap. I've been using Dr. Bronner's for like a decade or more. People would ask for black soap. I had a vendor who did black soap in a calabash. This is what's called a calabash, okay? Right now, this has shea butter in it. We'll get to that step later. But I had a vendor who would put hardened black soap in the calabash. And so you would take your Sapo sponge, wet your sponge, and rub it on the black soap, right? And that's how you would get black soap on your sponge to shower. It was cute in theory, but by the time that packaging had come from Ghana, shipped DHL, put on the floor, people are picking it up, touching it, the packaging did not withstand just being in my boutique. And so we ended up not really selling that much of it. So I would end up like gifting it to people, free with purchase, whatever. I just had to get rid of it some kind of way. But it was only $10 and it really didn't sell that well. So it wasn't something that I felt rushed to try. Also because I could not really get black soap to lather the way I like my soap to lather. So all of those things happened while I had the store. During that time also, my friend who coordinated shipping for me from Ghana to America, she has a friend who has this brand, Kaime. And again, I'm saying it the way that I think I'm supposed to say it, but I don't know. Kaime, okay? So she was like, hey, you should really try my friend's products in your store. They would probably sell well, all of these things. So Kaime, the owner, I think, or the sales rep, whoever, hit me up and was like, hey, what do you want to try? And I was like, okay. So it was referred to me and I was like, okay, I'll try a more masculine fragrance and a more feminine fragrance of the shea butter and the soaps, right? And so she was like, okay. And so then she billed me for them. So that's how you know my review is going to be honest. Typically, when people wanted to get things in the store, if they had samples, they would just give me the samples. I would try it and I would always place an order. If somebody gave me samples, I would always place an order because I would want to reward them for that. This one, she was like, okay, who's paying for it? So I paid for these myself. So I'm going to give you the real reviews. We didn't end up placing an order because it's really heavy. And so the price per unit is not that cheap. And then the freight would have been heavy on top of it. And then we already hadn't done well with black soap products before. So I didn't reorder it. Now, having said that, when I came back from Ghana this trip and I'd found another black soap product, I don't know what made me be like, don't you already have a black soap product? So I looked and I found that I still had this. This is Kaime's black soap in the fragrance Gold Flakes. This packaging is super beautiful. I definitely give the packaging a 10 out of 10. I love the size of this bottle as well. It's 500 milliliters and I love to put it in the shower. Like, I feel like it's a good shower size pump bottle, right? Because what I've been using before was the Dr. Bronner's, like, come on, the liter. Okay, but then I would also use Dr. Bronner's and then I'd come back in with the Salt and Stone, which is also a 500, or is this 450 milliliter bottle. So I love that the Kaime bottle really holds its own design-wise in the shower as well. Like, you're getting an African product where you can tell they invested in the packaging and they weren't just like, here's the product, right? Because we all know black soap is a product you can probably get for fairly cheap on the market. They did their formulations with their fragrances, with the water blend, and with the soap itself. And they said, we're also going to invest in the packaging. And I love that. I had bought this when I was in the store, and I don't think I'd ever used it because when I found it just now, it was still sealed shut. So that was maybe 3 years ago. In Ghana, this trip, went to the airport store when I was headed to Monrovia and found R&R skincare. And at that point, I'm already using the Sapo sponge. I had taken some Salt Stone and some Dr. Bronner's, but I was like, girl, we are decolonizing our shower routine. Let's see if we can pick up a nice liquid black soap that we want to use instead. So in comes R&R Skincare. All right. I tested and smelled some of it in the airport store, and I was like, oh, I love this lemongrass fragrance. Okay. So I got that. I am in love, you guys. I am a black soap girly down. Okay. So the whole rest of the trip, for the second half of the trip, when I was in Liberia and then when I went back to Ghana, I was using this. Now, my reviews on this particular product are, and because I'm purchasing all of these, guys, so you know you're gonna get the truth from me. My review on this is the bottle is a little small. It's giving, I would throw this in my gym bag and keep it. I mean, I'm sure most people have like a smaller size travel situation, but I'm at the gym so much that I keep kind of this size in the gym for me. I would prefer something a little bit bigger, but the packaging is beautiful. So then when I was checking out, they were like, oh, you already have products from us. So as it turned out, I've bought their black soap before and didn't use it. It was in their old packaging. This is the old R&R liquid black soap, okay? So I bought this 2 years ago when I was passing through the airport. This is the old packaging. This is even the old logo. You see? That's that logo. They've even updated their logo. So again, we have another Ghanaian brand where you can tell that they are invested in packaging and branding as part of the experience, and I love that. This size is also 250. So apparently they really like the 250 milliliters. I'm going to urge them to consider a 450 or a 500 just because it feels a little bit more luxurious. I also recognize that maybe they have a better understanding of their local market, and maybe the top price that they'll be able to sell black soap products to their local market is around I think this was about 13 to 15. It wasn't more than $15 after you do the conversion to USD. And so if they did a larger size, they'd have to charge more money, and then maybe that affects their local market. But I would encourage them then to there are clients who would buy a larger size. I know there are because I'm one of them. I would have happily bought a bottle of twice this size of the product. So anyways, I bought this 2 years ago. And when I was checking out, they were like, oh yeah, how do you like this? So they had me already in their books. I had not used this either. So I guess I was just collecting black soaps to not use, but now I throw this one in the gym bag. I keep this one in the shower. Now the gym bag one, thank God they changed the packaging because I couldn't get the black soap out of here. So when I'm at the gym, I have to twist it open and pour it. It is what it is. No complaints from me. But I think I love seeing the evolution of a brand in real time, especially an African brand. Okay, now let me I'm gonna break down the reviews on these black soaps, okay? So that you can know and you can decide which kind of black soap you wanna purchase as you decolonize your shower routine too. I use the Revive Liquid Black Soap in the lemongrass fragrance before bed. Something about the fragrance is so clean, it's so refreshing. It's just very much makes me want to sink into the bed and just like, I feel like I had a spa night, okay? I love it, I really do. I give it an 8 out of 10 for formula because I do think it could lather more. So I'm nervous that I'm gonna fly through this bottle. Like I almost feel like I need one bottle of this, per month if I'm only using it to shower in the evening. It takes about, we'll say 6 to 8 pumps to really lather the Sapo sponge the way I want it to. And therefore I know if you use a washcloth, it would take more, right? So that's my only complaint. I think that the packaging is beautiful. I love this color. I think that they picked a really good Pantone. And my only additional feedback would be, we would love a larger size because we really love the product, okay? So there's that. Then if we're gonna talk about rankings, the Kaime. This fragrance is fantastic. It is very cologne-y, if that makes sense. This is Gold Flakes. I would have to try some of their other fragrances. I give this lather though a 10 out of 10. I don't have to use as much product to get the lather that I want. I will say because this one is very cologne-y, I'm very scared to use it near my vagina. And that's important. You want to talk about that too, right? So Gold Flakes is very cologne-y. I used this one this morning when I showered. So I don't mind using a more fragrant black soap in the mornings when I shower, but before bed, I use this one. So I'm using both of the products. I love them because I have not returned to Dr. Bronner since. I feel very clean and I still feel moisturized. I don't feel stripped at all. And my body smells good all the time. It all starts with the soap. I am a big fan of both R&R Skincare and Shea, and I just want to give you guys the real deal as you go look for your products. Next thing I'm probably going to try to do is see if there are other fragrances of the Shea black soap, because I'm curious now. But I do, at first, the cologne-ness of it it was a little bit too much, but now I look forward to that morning shower when I can use it. So let me just show you both of the fragrances and bottles and packagings. Again, very cool products, and I really don't think you would ever be mad. You can't go wrong. I love having a black soap shower, and if you have not had one yet, go on and find you an African-owned brand, luxury liquid black soap. You won't be mad. So let's move to the next step of my shower. I turn the water off, and while I'm still wet, I put oil all over my body. Now the girlies be using the Shea oil, right? I want to show you this bottle because here's the thing. Where R&R really got me was their oil. Problem is, there's a delay with China and the packaging, so all they could sell me was the refill, right? And I will say this, at their boutique in La Bonnie, everybody was so sweet. I mean, R&R is really doing something special. They are building a true wellness experience in Accra, and I'm loving it. Especially, y'all know the work that I do. I'm like, how can we partner? Because it's fantastic. And I'll do another video about their location in La Bonnie and just other wellness things that you can do when you're in Ghana. It's just chef's kiss. So all they could tell me was the refill, and I was like, okay, I love a luxury bottle in the shower, so I bought it, but then I used it to refill my Shea bottle. Now, I want a bottle that is branded by them. I really do. But the Shea bottle is glass. It's that frosted glass. It's just beautiful. And I had finished my Shea product. Now, is it Shea or Osea? It's probably Osea. I don't know. Somebody let me know below. So I have gone through maybe 3 or 4 of this size bottles of Osea. Like, I have been a fan of theirs, right, for a while. But what I will say about it is I put it on while I'm wet, and as soon as I get out of the shower and like pat dry, I still need another moisturizer on top of me, right? What I will tell you about this R&R Skincare, baby, you use that oil, you don't need anything else. You will be fully moisturized. Your skin will be glowing. I'm gonna show you the difference. In my gym bag, I still have that Osea. I have a small size. Okay, so let's go here. All right. You see it. It's kind of thinner. You see how that just dripped down my hand? So even though this is the Osea bottle, this is the R&R Skincare. Slow drip. Okay? And I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to tell you. It's waterier. I'm not saying there's water in it. It's oil, clearly. It's a seaweed oil. But this is thicker. Look at that. Okay, that's a mixture. So let me just show you on my hand. Wow. I'm not going to lie to you. That Osea smells so good. It smells so good. And that's why I was still using it. But the truth is, this Shea oil is retaining the moisture in a way that I didn't know was possible. So I tried it on. Look at that skin. Look at the skin glow. Can you see it? I hope you can see it. My skin is glowing. That's all I can tell you. I tried it on in the airport. The fragrance that I like is the lavender, lang lang, and bergamot, right? So I bought it, the refill, and fell in love. And the way that they sold it to me, actually, I was like, okay, hold on. Let me put it on my titty and let me see how my titty glows. Maybe we'll try that. Ooh, a little oil drip, drip. Okay, now you can see it, right? Look at that. Look at that glow, honey. Yes. Motherland drip for real. Okay, so as soon as they did that, I did that in the airport, literally on my titty. And the girls were so cool. They were such a vibe. And I was like, yeah, check me out. To find out, you guys, when I bought that black soap, I bought the same fragrance back in the day. So this is what I will say too. They have improved the formula because this one gets a little bit more settled at the bottom because it's a shea oil, right? So shea butter can kind of harden. The new formula does not. I love a luxury bath experience, right? And so I feel very pampered when after I turn the water off, I'm just putting this oil on my body. As soon as I step out, skin's still glowing. Look, It's been on. I've been talking for another 2-3 minutes. Skin's still glowing. With the Osea, that thing is fully absorbed into my skin right now, and I still need another moisturizer. I love the way that this lavender, lang lang, and bergamot smells. Those are my ideal fragrance profiles. And it kind of takes some of the natural out of the Shea aroma, if that makes sense to you. If you use Shea products, you know Shea has a distinct smell. And I'm fine with it. I love a natural smell. Shea smells like home. But the lavender, lang lang, bergamot, it really does bergamot. Bergamot. I guess this episode is going to be like phonics for our shell, right? Because what? Lavender, lang lang, bergamot. It's a really good blend, okay? So I use that on my body. Hop out the shower. Now, if I still need some shea butter, I'm gonna hit the parts that get ashy the fastest, right? So that's the corners of my hands, my heels, my knees, my elbows. We did the Shea Butter Museum Experience by Hamamat. And can I just say, it was worth every penny. They walked us through the whole procedure of making shea butter. We got to compare shea butters from different lands, and then we got to make our own blend. And so that's what I keep in my calabash, and I just love it so much. It is so soft and whipped. This is not your mama's shea butter. None of these are your mama's products. I'm telling you, when I was coming on buying trips and bringing my dad, I would show him things, and he would be like, oh my God, they're making that here. It is just the best time ever to be African because we are investing in our brands, our products. We want up-leveled versions of things. We're not just out here looking for the cheapest version of things. We want to use and support products that are aligned with the lives that we live and want to live. And I'm loving that for us. So this shea butter, I'm gonna just put some on my knees right now. Y'all can see the legs. Y'all can see the legs glow, honey. Look at that leg. Look at that leg. Okay. All right, and see how it's like cream cheese icing texture. Look at that. Oh, honey, look at that leg. Look at that leg. Okay. All right, and see how it's like cream cheese icing texture. Look at that. We're not struggling to rub it in at all. Look at that. It literally is like, okay, look at that glow on that leg. I don't want to show you up my dress, but look at that glow, honey. Yes. I am so moisturized, hydrated. So this blend, it's shea butter, mango butter, and a little bit of rose oil. And I love that. So I just feel like if the motherland has all of the natural products, because I'm trying to get away from all of these chemicals. I know science is great. We've developed great products. I want to get as far away from some of the unnecessary chemicals as I can. If a superior product is being made in Africa by Africans, and is the reason that black don't crack, baby, why wouldn't I use them? I'm saying this as a girl who made her own shea butter formula and sold it, and has sold actually thousands of dollars of her own shea butter blend. This Hamamat got her something going on over there, okay? It's the truth. The last part of my routine that needs to be decolonized, because I know it can be, but hasn't been yet for me, is the fragrance layer, okay? So right now I'm really into this Kopari Seychelles Sands. It's a creamy vanilla fragrance. And so I love that the oil and the shea butter, I mean, it's just a lot. Look, she's still shining. I'm still shining. That's the ad for the R&R right there. Look, my titty's still shining, okay? But I use this. It's like the 2026 version of a Bath & Body Works spritz, okay? So I'm just gonna hit everything and allow this vanilla smell to stick to the shea butters. Okay, that was it. Okay. I'm gonna allow this vanilla musk fragrance to adhere to the shea butters. So whereas I used to use like Aquaphor and spray that, the shea butter is holding it. Okay. And then last, because your girl likes to layer fragrances. I don't know what to tell you, but last is this Fleur Honeymoon. I went in, I was gonna get the vanilla Fleur because I had a tester of it. I loved it, whatever. I went in and I smelled this honeymoon and I was like, oh, actually that's where we're gonna go. God, it smells so good. Oh, I love the way this smells. And for this, I just hit the wrists and the chest, okay? And then maybe I'll do like a couple more sprays. But right now, man, I smell delicious. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. And I think it's because I'm layering all the fragrances in different ways, but they all kind of work together. I don't know how to explain it to you, but the Kopari Seychelles Sands and Fleur Honeymoon, I'm like into this duo, but they're not African. So I am in the market for fragrances developed by African women or African people. I'm just in the mood to, I'm a sexy ass, badass bitch, okay? And I want to smell like the motherland goddess that I am. And I think that starting with those fragrances, and I think that starting in the shower the way that I am is a good start, but I would like to complete it with the fragrances. So I'm on the lookout. If you know some products I need to check out, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Let me know, okay? Because I'm always down to buy it, try it, and tell you all about it, okay? So I hope that I painted a really good picture of what these fantastic motherland options are. I am no longer using Dr. Bronner's. Like, I can toss these bottles now. The luxury that I feel in the shower, knowing that I am using products from our ancestral land by creators who are of my age, generation, whatever. And I've tried a lot, okay? Like, I could do a whole video on the different shea butter brands that we carried at the store, the different soaps that we carry at the store. Right now, this is what's in my rotation. And as somebody who has tested a lot of these things, I am very happy with my rotation. So we've got some Kaime, we've got some R&R skincare, we've got the Sapo sponge. We will never, ever forget the Dettol, okay? Because some of the old school things, you got to bring them to the new school. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we have my two non-African things that at some point are going to get traded out, but we're still looking for the solutions there. So yeah, if you have products that you want me to try, if you have thoughts or ideas or things that I should add to my routine, if you are a lifelong Sapo sponge user, whatever the case may be, leave me a comment. I want to hear from you. I want to know that I'm not talking to myself, and I want to know that you guys are on this journey with me. So thank you for watching this video. There will be way more about West African wellness because I'm your West African wellness girl, honey. Mindset, outer body, physical healing, all of that is coming your way, starting with the next video. Love you.